Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of MJ Everyday, a dieting based episode for you guys today. I've been getting a lot of questions at the moment asking me to do an episode of MJ Everyday on skinny fat. People who are skinny fat, usually they're newbies to the gym, can be guys or girls, but been training a few months, maybe even up to 6 months, and they've got that typical skinny fat physique, for lack of a better term. What it means is, not a whole lot of muscle mass, little bit more body fat than they really should be carrying, and they're skinny, but they're fat at the same time. And a lot of people have been hitting me up asking me what my opinion is on the first step for somebody who is skinny fat. Should that person, on one hand, look to build muscle, look to bulk up, or should they worry about reducing their body fat first, getting into a caloric deficit, getting that body fat level down, and then worry about building the muscle after that? I have a very strong personal opinion on this issue, guys, and it comes from a little bit of personal experience. When I was younger and I first got into lifting, I was one of those skinny fat type people. And it also comes from a lot of seeing a lot of newbies, both guys and girls, to the gym who come into the health and fitness lifestyle as skinny fat. And I've seen people go down the path of firstly bulking, and then I've seen people go down the opposite path of firstly cutting and then worrying about bulking. So I've got a lot of experience with this exact situation, and I hold a very strong personal opinion on it because I think I've been able to distill that experience and tell you guys what I think is the ideal situation. So my take on this is, if you are skinny fat, or you know someone who's skinny fat, new to the gym, new to the health and fitness lifestyle, the first thing you should focus on doing is get your body fat down. Get into a caloric deficit and get your body fat level down so that you're no longer skinny fat, you're just skinny. And you start from being skinny with a low body fat level or a relatively low body fat level, and then you worry about getting into caloric surplus and putting on muscle mass and building lean muscle. The justification for this, there's two very important justifications for why I think this is the better route to go if you are skinny fat. The first has to do with body fat level and the effect that your body fat level has on your testosterone to estrogen ratio and other hormones, thyroid hormone, leptin hormone, ghrelin, a whole bunch of hormones. We now know there's a lot of empirical and anecdotal evidence that shows that the higher your body fat level is, the less ideal your hormones are for building lean muscle. We know definitively that it's easier to build lean muscle in a leaner body, in a body where your body fat is not too excessive. Obviously, if you get too lean, it's kind of a bell-shaped curve, but with a reasonable body fat level. And we know roundabout for guys, that's less than 15% body fat. For girls, that's around 20% body fat. Let's say less than 20% body fat for argument's sake. So if you are skinny fat, and you're a guy and you have more than about 15% body fat, or you're a girl and you have more than 20-ish% body fat, reducing that body fat first and foremost is going to bring your estrogen down, so your testosterone to estrogen level is better. It's going to have a positive impact on your thyroid hormone, positive impact on your insulin sensitivity, a whole lot of positive hormonal impacts that is therefore going to make it much easier for you to build lean muscle. So I think getting that body fat level down firstly is initially going to make it easier to build muscle, and that's the first reason why I think that that's the route that you should take. The second reason why I think that's the route that you should take is one of the most important aspects of any health and fitness journey is discipline and consistency. Discipline and consistency with your diet, discipline and consistency with your training, with your cardio, if you choose to do cardio, with your supplementation. And there's no arguing that you need to exert much more discipline and much more consistency when you're trying to get into a caloric deficit and lose body fat. Anybody who's dieted knows that it's much more difficult to get lean than it is to bulk or put on weight for most of us. And I think that the skill of discipline and consistency that you develop from being in a caloric deficit, from losing body fat, if you can gain that skill, gain that experience very early on, you can then take that experience and apply it to the reverse, apply it to being in a caloric surplus and building muscle. And it's also going to become much easier because you're not going to cheat on your diet as much because you've already developed the skill of discipline. You're not going to skip your leg days or your workouts because you've developed the discipline from being in a caloric deficit and losing that body fat. So I think the second reason is because losing body fat, being in a caloric deficit, really develops this skill of discipline that is the most important part of any health and fitness journey. I think the earlier you can develop that skill, the better it's going to be for you in the medium to long term on your health and fitness journey. Guys, that's my take on it. I think if you are skinny fat, get rid of the fat, get the fat level down, guys below 15%, girls below 20%, lose body fat first, then take all of the skills and the ideal hormonal environment that you develop from getting leaner, take all of that and then work on building that physique, building that muscle. That's my take on it. If you've got a different take, drop a comment down below, let me know. But guys, that's a wrap for today's episode of MJ Every Day. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn your post notifications on, both on your mobile, your cell phone, and your desktop PC so you don't miss a beat when it comes to the Massive Joes YouTube channel. Until tomorrow, I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com.